Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to IRS Group's OET All Stars live session. I hope you are able to listen to me and welcome. So if you're able to listen to me or watch me, please type in the chat box so that I'll be able to watch. This live was scheduled for the OET official website, but unfortunately due to a technical glitch, we are unable to live stream on OET, but let me know if you're able to watch this stream, and I'll start the session in a moment. Here we go. I'm just waiting for your comments as we start this stream. Here we are. Just let all right. I hope you're able to listen to me. Just waiting for your response as we go live. Hello, hi Minnie. Can you hear me? So today we'll be looking at OET Listening, Part B, and excellent. So just give me a moment while others join. All right, here we go. So today's topic is OET Listening, Part B, and this is one area where a lot of you may have some problems getting it accurate. And so I'll be giving you some of the finest tips that will help you ace OET Listening, Part B. And some of these are tips which you can actually apply even in other parts of the listening test. All right. So as everyone joins, because we had to just reroute, give me a moment and okay. So I'm just waiting for others to join the stream. So OET Listening Part B is one of the most trickiest parts because there are a lot of question types and a number of skills which you have to ace. So as we go about it, let's see how it pans out. All right, so as we get started, can you think of some common distractors in your daily life? Please type in the chat box. Are you able to listen to me? Are you able to listen to me? Type in the chat box. So let me know what are the distractors that you encounter in your everyday life. All right. So okay. So of course, like even now as I go about it, of course, one of the most common distractors we encounter is mobile phones, and we are almost on it all the time. Okay. Okay. So of course, you may have family, other people distracting you at times. If you're preparing for OET or something else, that can happen. Right. So here we go. So what is a distractor? So in the context of a test like OET, a distractor is a wrong answer, which is quite similar to the correct answer. So, it's almost very attractive at times and designed to see whether the person being tested can notice the difference. So you have to be able to understand the subtle differences. And coming to listening tests, what are some of the distractors you face in OET listening? Please type in the chat box. I know many of you are just joining. Sorry for the technical glitch on OET YouTube channel. Please share this new live stream with your friends or anyone who might be interested in attending. Okay, here we go. And if you can also think of some distractors in listening part B, please type that as well. Yes. Hello, Chinu, Janet. Good evening. Hello, Shani. Nice to have all of you in the stream. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I was talking about the skills tested in listening part B. So I'm not sure if you're aware of these, but I want you to understand there are a number of different skills tested in OET listening part B, and one of those is listening for course of action. So you have multiple things lined up, and you have to, watch out for what happens first and what comes later. So that is listening for course of action. Another skill is listening for purpose. So you listen to an extract and you're being tested on whether you could identify the purpose of that conversation. Maybe a team meeting, a staff huddle, or a debriefing. So what was the purpose of that conversation? Listening for gist, again, quite familiar with most of you. So gist, as you know, is a summary. So what is the overall idea? What is the overall content of that conversation? So that is listening for gist, and listening for detailed meaning, which is just the opposite. So when you're listening for detailed meaning, unlike gist, which is an overall summary, in detailed meaning, you're looking for a very specific answer, and usually that will be in a small part of the test, right? Listening for function. So a little bit close to purpose. What's the function of, for example, a drug? So if someone is explaining a medication to a patient and then talking about what it does or something, that's what you're definitely listening for function. So just to give you an idea and to help you identify the distractors and also to find the right answer, I'll be dissecting a couple of listening part Ds just to test whether you are able to understand it. So here we go. So here is a question on the screen for you, and you have a bit of time to read it now. I'll share the audio as well. Right, so I hope you have read. Let me just open the file for you.
The next patient is Troy Simpson in bed 5. All right, go on. He presented today with acute left cerebral stroke. He also had dysarthria secondary to stroke and atrial fibrillation. A CTA revealed paralysis of face and upper extremity with loss of discriminative touch. He also has broken speech. We already started him on warfarin. All you'll have to do is to continue to monitor and slowly adjust his hypertension. Dr. Chris will make arrangements for him to go to stroke center, perhaps later in the evening. Once he's in the stroke center, he'll start consulting a speech pathologist and a physiotherapist who will start their therapy when he is ready.
Okay. So in the chat box, can you type your answers? Hello, Divya, Karthikeyan, nice to see you. I hope you're able to listen to the audio. If you are able to identify the answer, type your answer A, B, or C in the chat box. Hello, Vedana. All right. Hello, Donna. Good evening. Can I know the answers? Were you able to listen to it? Type yes if you are able to listen to the audio. I hope you were able to. Let me know your response, please. What do you think is the answer for this? Answer B, okay. Anybody else? Let it be wrong, that's fine. Okay. So A is not an answer because he says we already started him on warfarin. But option A says start him on warfarin, so which is future. So this is a kind of distractor where you have, the actual audio in one tense and an option in another. All right, let's look at another one. So Dr. Chris will make arrangements. So not the colleague, but the question is, what should the colleague be sure to do? Yes, so those who got it right, yes. All you'll have to do is continue to monitor him and slowly adjust. Excellent. So we'll try another one. Let's see how it works for you. Yes, Akash, exactly. Thank you. So we're going to repeat this process with a few questions so that I can explain to you how distractors occur, and when you try listening part B's and even part C questions later, you can think of those, because distraction is something which people don't know much about, although you hear a lot about it. And this is something which happens simultaneously. You have to find the answers, definitely, and also avoid distractors. So here is another one. I'll give you some time to read the question. Hello, Ashwati. Good evening. Okay, so I'm going to play the audio for you.
Right, so overnight admissions to the ward. Greg, could you start us off?
Sure. We have Sue Deans in bed 5. She's a 54-year-old female who was brought into the emergency department by police overnight. She has a history of poorly controlled paranoid schizophrenia. She presents with chronic persecutory and paranoid delusions and also significant thought disorder. She's to remain in high dependency unit care until the stabilisation of her symptoms. We'll be observing her every 15 minutes and monitoring the level of her distress, psychosis, and any response to interventions offered.
Okay, I'll review the clinical and detention status this afternoon. Now, what's the plan for discharge?
Social work interventions required for placement and community support options, and that's been booked for tomorrow. Also, an application for the appointment of legal guardian may be required.
Right. We'll consider that at tomorrow's ward round.
Can you let me know what your answers are in the chat box? Okay, I'm getting answers from Gadana, Nagaraj. Yeah. Very good. So option B says she'll be transferred to a more specialized unit. But the extract says she is to remain in HDU until the stabilization of her symptoms. So it's not B. Again, tense difference, yes. Let's look at option C. So a social worker might come, but that's for tomorrow. But our question is the plan for today. So it's not C either. Yes, those who got it right. Yes, answer is option A. We'll be observing her every 15 minutes and monitoring the level of her distress, psychosis, and any response to interventions offered. Excellent. Right, we'll try the third one. And after going through a few more questions, I'll discuss any questions you may have or share some more important test-taking techniques. So here's your third one. Hope you are ready. I'll play the audio for you.
Kathy, could you help me with the patient in bed 103? The woman who had surgery 2 days ago.
Oh, yes, she's due for discharge today, isn't she? Does her pain relief need topping up again? I thought she wasn't very comfortable this morning.
Oh, she's on a reasonably low dose, but she's coping. She needs her chest drains removing, though, and she's got herself into a bit of a state.
Ah, well, that's a two-person job anyway, so I'll come with you. Has the consultant seen her? I know there was some concern yesterday about her condition and the level of the fluids draining into the bags.
Oh, he's cleared her for removal of them today, but I think some reassurance might be needed first.
Right. I might just check her analgesia and give her more before we go ahead.
Okay.
Can you tell me what your answer is for this third extract? Nagaraj says it's B. Anyone else? Divya, all right. Okay, so the female says, I know there was some concern yesterday about her condition. And the male says, oh, he's clear for removal of them today, all right. So it's not option A, hasn't deteriorated actually, yes, but it says has deteriorated, okay. Let's look at C. She's coping, all right. So she's not reporting increased pain levels. I thought she wasn't very comfortable this morning. Yes, you're right. All of you are right. Yes. Gadana, Akash, Chitra, Karthik, yes. So here we find she needs her chest drains removed, though, and she's got herself into a bit of a state. What does that mean? Like very nervous, agitated, upset. Someone's got themselves into a bit of a state means they're very upset about something. Excellent, great. Nice to see that you're able to make it out, and we'll go into the fourth one. Here's a question for you to read. All right, I'll play the audio for you.
Hi, I'd like an urgent appointment, please.
Let's see, who's your usual dentist?
Mr. Garcia?
You say it's urgent. Are you in pain?
Yeah, it's the tooth Mr. Garcia filled last week.
Well, he's away today, I'm afraid, but there's a free slot this afternoon with his colleague, Mrs. Brown.
Well, that'd be okay, but are you saying Mr. Garcia could fit me in tomorrow?
That's right, we'd get you in first thing. Can you wait?
Well, I'm not chewing on that side and I'm taking paracetamol, which is helping. The pain started when I was eating a steak, so I'm frightened I might have upset Mr. Garcia's work. It makes sense for him to check it out.
Okay, we'll book you in for tomorrow morning at 10.
Okay, let me know what your answers are. Okay, Gadana, Divya, thank you. So is he nervous? We'll start from the bottom. He says that would be okay. But are you saying Mr. Garcia could fit me in tomorrow? So the patient isn't worried much about it. It's not nervous. That's right. Can you wait? Well, I'm not showing on that side and taking paracetamol, which is helping. Great. Thank you, everyone, for your answers. The pain started when I was eating a steak, so I'm frightened I might have upset Mr. Garcia's work. So, yes. So he's not disappointed, actually. So the answer, yes, as all of you, Divya, Akash, Josmi, Binsi, Karthik, Chilu, good. Yes. He's worried that he may have damaged a filling. I'm frightened I might have upset Mr. Garcia's work. Very good, yes. So if you look carefully, it could be a word that makes an option a distractor, which means you'll have to, really, really focus. So here are a few top tips for listening part B, and some of them are applicable for part C as well. So identify the skill tested. So at the beginning, I mentioned a few skills tested, such as listening for course of action, listening for gist, listening for purpose, listening for detailed meaning, listening for function, listening for opinion. Yes, a number of. So if you are able to know what the skills tested are, it's going to be really good for you. So I'm not saying that it is always necessary or compulsory, but it would be really, really helpful if you kind of know what skill is being tested. All right. So now this is very important, not to let your mind wander. Now, during a listening test, something that can affect you is that you might lose track of what you have been listening, or sometimes you're trying to multitask and you're not able to pay attention, or you could sometimes be thinking about a previous answer which you thought was wrong. But that's really important that you're able to concentrate and focus and have that control of your mind and not let the train of thoughts affect your performance. And pay attention to the details. Yes, so that's one thing which I was trying to focus your attention. As I've just told a while ago, even a single word can change the entire meaning. So the ability to follow a conversation in detail, the nuanced elements of a conversation, including tonal variations, can be really, really important. Now, this can happen at times. You find a word and the same word is in an option, but it doesn't mean that that is a guarantee that that option is the right answer. In fact, sometimes you find the same word in the audio extract and the same word in an option. It could be a distract because, just unlike part A of listening or part A of reading, we're not in the word game. We're not looking for a specific information or specific detail. We are looking at more detailed skills. And finally, be prepared. Yes. So read the question really, really carefully, and that's very important for your preparation. Okay. So I hope you learned some skills. So it's question time. Any questions? Feel free to ask. So if you are a student at IRS Group, of course, you get me in different occasions to discuss and ask your questions. But if not, feel free to ask me questions now. I'm just waiting for your questions to pop up in the chat box. Of course, I know some of you might be watching the recording later because we had to defer this stream from OET's official YouTube channel due to a technical glitch. So even later you can post your questions and I'd be happy to answer. If one of you have any question, you're free to ask me now. So any question that pops in later will also be replied in the chat. And so thank you very much for your time. And as always, IRS Group as Asia's first OET All-Stars and South India's first OET Premium Preparation partner is absolutely delighted to bring these live streams to you for your preparation, and the finest lessons are available on OET's YouTube channel, OET Official, as well as on IRS Group, OET's playlist, as well as on our other channels. Thank you very much, and good luck with your preparation, and do share it with someone who might be interested in the recordings as well. Thank you very much.